Hey guys, what's up? Nightmare Slumber here, and welcome to the first podcast thing. And hopefully, some people show up to the live version, and then you can ask questions. And I'm also here with my good friend Wolfpack Leader. Why don't you introduce yourself?
What is up, guys? You guys remember me from Wolfpack Leader, the channel. I always sponsor Nightmare Slumber. Oh no, that's all I have to say for right now. So we actually get into the conversation.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about
Horror movies.
yeah, and how we don't really like what they're doing with horror movies nowadays.
Yeah, pisses me off.
All right, so since you're the guest, how about you bring up the first example of a bad horror movie that came out recently?
PG-13 horror movies. Don't do that. Never ever do that. It's like Disney making a horror movie. They have to limit themselves so they don't scare the audience too much. That stuff. And people rely on jump scares just for a horror movie to be good. That really bothers me.
Yeah, I touched on this a little bit in my short video. Oh, by the way, this is a continuation of that for those of you who didn't see the update video. Um, but yeah, it's for some reason they're making horror movies PG-13, and it's really annoying because
It
they
is.
suck.
Yeah, because they limit themselves too much.
Yes, and as far as jump scares go, like I said in the video, it's okay to have like maybe two, maybe
Yeah,
two.
yeah. It's really dumb because nowadays, moviegoers who like watching horror movies, they think it's all about jump scares. Like that's what they want. They just want to get scared. But really, it's not like that. Horror movies aren't about jump scares. They're to entertain. To get someone interested into all the characters. Like there's so many great examples. Like you want to name an example?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, that's a good example. Like, it has great character development. The way it starts and its mood is amazing. Like, it has a really dark tone to it, which I really like. I think that's what made it really interesting. And they actually explain the characters, and we actually care about the characters. Like, let me pick a really good example for a bad horror movie. Like, let's say Ouija. Ouija is a terrible movie. We all know why. If you guys haven't seen it, have you seen that movie, Nightmare Slumber?
Yes, I have. I
Yeah,
watched
like
it with my grandmother.
yeah, like that movie is so terrible. Like the character, it has like no good character development. It doesn't really explain the characters that well, and that's why like we really don't care about the characters at all.
Yeah, no, there's like um, one of my favorite horror movies is the original Halloween
Yeah,
because they did so much right, and the writing was just great. And usually, when you make a character that's a killer just for the sake of being a killer, it's not done right. But Michael Myers was done perfectly,
yeah, he
and
was.
Dr. Loomis was my favorite character ever. In he's like my favorite horror movie hero ever. Um, Rip Donald Pleasance.
Yeah, he was a great actor.
Yeah, he's in a weird way. Dr. Loomis was the voice of Michael Myers without having Michael Myers talk.
Yeah, and let's say like for example, I saw The Conjuring 2 not too long ago, and that movie was amazing, guys. This is great. My favorite movie of 2016. Like no lie. One is a lot of people went who they had no idea what was going on. There's some people that I can tell that they were very confused, and they're just waiting for jump scares. And yeah, like again, like that really bothers me because people just go for that reason to be scared, and that's not the point.
They're the only real exception that I've seen to having a lot of jump scares in a movie, it was Insidious because
Yeah,
yeah, it had a lot of jump scares, but they also did good with the story. And it's
yeah,
interesting because those movies were based off of a really short poem about the
mhm.
further. I don't remember how the poem went, but I remember that's what it was based off of.
Yeah,
And I really liked Insidious.
Yeah.
Darth Maul was in it.
Yeah, Insidious. I feel like the Insidious movies, like the franchise so far, is like those are like the only good rated R. Oh no, PG-13 horror movies out there. Because those movies are PG-13. They're not rated R.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The
those are like
only
the
I,
only.
the only
You go.
reason why they're making PG-13 movies is because they know that like a lot of
Yeah,
teenagers want to go see them, and they're just trying to make money.
yeah,
Stupid.
I know. Yeah, it's so true. Because like nowadays, if you really think about it, it's mostly teenagers that go watch horror movies. Like that's how it was back then. Yeah, they didn't even care. They would let you in even if the movie was rated R. And it's not like that anymore. It's all about business and money.
Yeah.
And then also, I hate like how all these companies, what they fund all these movies to be made, and like they know it's going to be terrible, but as long as the movie makes money, that's another reason to PG-13 horror movies. It's money.
Yeah. It's almost like George Lucas when he made the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah,
Um, moving on, stop with the horror remakes. Like
yeah, they need to stop
seriously.
that. Like I like seeing a story continue, not be remade. It's like a waste of time.
Yeah, I mean the I didn't I don't like the Rob Zombie ones because they're just too over the top with how disturbing that they're trying to be. Like I can see what he was trying to do with those, but he didn't. I don't think he did it too well. He
Yeah,
was
like it was
too over the
overused.
top.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
really the amount of disturbingness in there is overused. I feel like he tried too hard especially for the second one. The second one was no, like the first one. It was a enjoyable movie. That's it. It's an enjoyable movie, but it still had its flaws.
yeah. Like the first one, if like you're sitting and it's like the evening and you have nothing to do, you could watch it and get some enjoyment out of it. The second one is just kind of annoying.
Yeah, especially the characters. I feel like I don't know, they kind of ruined all the characters in the second one.
Yeah,
Especially
especially Laurie.
yeah, like her character development was pretty good in the first one, but in the second one they just made her into annoying. Just straight on annoying. That's it. And like you didn't really care about the character.
Yes, and another mistake they made was making Michael Myers the main character, making the killer the main character of your movie about a killer.
Yeah, like really, I don't know. Like there really is no main character. It's just I don't know. I feel and I hate how they portrayed Samuel Loomis in the second one. It was really bad.
Yeah, they just kind of turned him into an asshole.
Yeah, he did. Which is you never do that. Don't do that. It's like sewing Deadpool's mouth like in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never change the character's personality. He just became like selfish and all that in those movies. In the second one, first one he was pretty cool though.
Yeah, he was pretty cool in the first one. And also, the reason for why Michael Myers became a murderer was kind of stupid. It was
Yeah,
just like everybody that met him was really, an asshole for
yeah,
some reason. And they also made Dr. Loomis kind of a bad doctor.
he was. It was terrible. I feel like he made like no effort. He literally just came there just to get paid and that's it.
Yeah.
And then he just took over the story and became worldwide and all that stuff. And yeah, that's basically Halloween 2. I mean Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 actually. It was both of those movies.
So what about the Friday the 13th remake? I haven't seen that one all the way through. How do you think they did on that one?
I think they did an okay job, but yeah, it had its flaws. Like the thing I like is how they had a lot of great, memorable horror cliches, which I like that they did that. I like seeing horror cliches. I don't know. It just makes the horror movie. I don't know. I don't know. I just it's every horror movie horror fan stream seeing a lot of cool cliches. And the movie the story was pretty good, but like it could have been a little bit better. Like it just started out. Wait, have you seen the movie or you haven't seen it?
I've seen the first maybe 20 minutes of it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think it was pretty cool how like the movie started. Like he just like they didn't explain what happened to Jason. It just like he just came out of nowhere. Like it just literally the movie started with his mom killing everyone and blaming them because he's supposedly dead and all that. And he's just right there in the back, because he's retarded, he's stupid, he doesn't know what he's doing. And then yeah, he watched her get decapitated, and obviously, I don't know, it's a little confusing. If you haven't seen the original Friday 13th, it's like he's in her mind and all that stuff. And I guess like when she died, she's in his mind now and like telling him what to do
So
and
they
all that
kind of
stuff.
flipped it.
Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. Also, there was the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, which
It's terrible.
wasn't too good.
I mean, like it's
they,
kind of it's enjoyable to watch, but that's it. Like it's only fun to
yeah,
watch with friends and family. I think one of
and
those.
the guy they picked to play Freddy Krueger, he wasn't really a bad choice. It's just the way they made him in the movie was bad,
Yeah,
and the way he was designed kind of looked like an alien pig.
yeah, he did. He looked really bad. He didn't. Yeah, they just. I feel like they didn't try, or they just try to make it realistic. But sometimes it's not good if they try to make it realistic. Like it's a horror movie. Horror movies aren't real, so they should have kept like the original design.
Yeah, and I also hate how they changed some of the iconic scenes that Freddy Krueger did, like when he's in the original when he's like coming through the wall, in that they used like the
The
practical
CGI.
effects, but in the movie they made
Yeah,
CGI. And
yeah,
just in case people didn't know that it was Freddy Krueger, he had to pull out his claws.
yeah. I was hoping they would remake the whole intro from the original movie. Yeah, I thought that would have been cool, like seeing like a newer version of it, a more modern version. But they didn't do that, so that was kind of a bummer. But oh well.
Yeah,
And also yeah, I know. So I was hoping they should have Wes Craven should like took a part of that. Should have taken part in that movie. Like at least like how if they're gonna make a remake, like he should have them do it right.
well,
Like he like had
obviously.
yeah. Because like there's some horror remakes that they use the original like director and they that created the characters and stories and like the whole story and stuff. But he
Yeah,
didn't take
like
any part in it.
the Grudge movies, I think, were remakes of the original Japanese films, and they used the
Yeah.
original director, just different actors and stuff, and those turned out pretty good. I liked them.
Hmm. Yeah, I like the Grudge films. They have its original like I don't know, it has that cool vibe to it that they always had, and which I like about those movies.
Yeah,
And those movies were actually yeah, they had amazing character development. The main like the antagonists, the mom and their son.
yeah, it really made you feel kind. It kind of when you heard their backstory, it kind of made you feel for
Like
like
yeah, the
feel
characters.
their anger and stuff and understand them more.
Yeah, which is that's a perfect example of character development there. Like you can't just have a random psychopathic killer going on a rampage like Halloween just because you know he had a terrible childhood, I guess, and everyone was an asshole with him.
Yeah. Like Freddy Krueger, he wanted revenge on the people that killed him. Jason, he
Yeah.
wanted revenge for the people that killed him and the people that killed his mom.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think the story to well, like the original one, he did die. I guess we really don't get why he came back, which is what they're trying to explain in the remake of or not. It's not like a remake, but it's also like it's like I don't know. It's really hard to explain the movie. It's gonna the new movie that's coming out, the new Friday 13th, is gonna explain it. It's a little bit more about Jason, how he came back and why he can't die.
Yeah, and
Because
oh, I
yeah,
forgot. I was gonna say, oh yeah, there was a horror game that came out recently, or the beta came out, and it reminded me of the new Friday the 13th game that they're making. It's a game called Dead by Daylight. It's a multiplayer thing where you can either play as the survivors or the killer, and the killer really reminded me of Jason, and
yeah,
that one's pretty good, and I'm interested in seeing how the Friday the 13th game is gonna be.
yeah. The game has a yeah, it's pretty similar. They're gonna have a story and a multiplayer, which is what they're saying. Really, really excited for that game. I plan
Yeah.
on buying it. But yeah, continuing, what were we saying earlier before we were talking about the game?
Uh, I believe we were talking the about like how character development in horror movies sucks. I think
Yeah,
we were
like
talking about
nowadays.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's think of another character that would be a good example to use. Have you seen the
Hmm.
Hannibal movies? I haven't seen all of them, but
Oh, I've seen. There's three of them, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Okay, I think I've seen two of them. I've seen Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal Lecter,
yeah,
and those were both really good. And I love Hannibal Lecter as a villain. He's terrifying. Like when you see him on screen, you just get the feeling that you never want to meet this person in real life.
yeah.
He's It's crazy. I don't want to give spoilers to it, but um,
You can give
for
me spoilers.
anybody that
Go
hasn't
ahead.
seen the movies, go watch them because they're great. They're just
I haven't
amazing.
seen those movies for like the longest time. Like I've seen them before, but like such a long time ago. Like maybe when I was like 5 or 6. I don't know. So I just haven't seen those movies for like the longest. I have
Yeah,
to watch them again.
that's when I saw them, and I found out that they were on Netflix, so I thought, I might as well watch it again.
Oh really? I didn't know that. I'm gonna check those out now.
Yeah, you should. Pretty good.
So wait, which one's the first movie? It's Manhunter, right? It started with Manhunter, and then I think it
I
was Science of the Lambs and Cannibals, or Hannibal was the latest one. I think I don't know.
I think so. I would have to check again. It's been a while. I'm not sure
Yeah,
if I've seen the first one to come out actually, which is weird.
Manhunter.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot
I,
of people. That movie is really underrated, and a lot of people don't know about that movie, even though
yeah.
that is the first that started it.
Like I knew about it, but I've never seen it. I started
Yeah,
with Silence of the Lambs, and then I never saw Hannibal until recently.
yeah. Well, for me, it was yeah. I've heard of Manhunter, and then I saw Hannibal first, and then I saw Science of the Lambs, and it kind of made a little bit more sense. I think there's a prequel, right? There's also a prequel to Hannibal.
I think so, yeah. Or it might. Wasn't there a show too?
Oh yeah, there's a show. I haven't seen the show though, so I can't
Me
judge it.
neither.
I don't know. I don't really like it when they make horror movies into shows like Scream. Like that, I think
Yeah,
that's stupid. It shouldn't be a show. It should be a movie. Like they started out as movies, so they should stay movies. Unless you're gonna do it right with like original cast members, like Ash vs Evil Dead. If you haven't seen that show's amazing. They have the original directors and writers, and the cast crew are all back, and that's how it should how they should be made with the original cast crew. It has the main characters and all that stuff. Which yeah,
yeah, definitely, definitely. And I've been meaning to watch Ash vs. Evil Dead. Just
yeah.
haven't had the time yet.
Season two is gonna come out
And that would
pretty
be a
soon.
good time to watch it then.
Yeah, you have until October, I think, or September. Oh, September, yeah. And also, they're gonna have another good horror show is I like Scream Queens. I think that show's really good. It's funny, has a lot of good horror cliches, but in a more modern tone, modern. And it has a lot of cool original like cast from original movies like what's her name? What's her name?
Jamie, Jamie Lee
Jamie Lee
Curtis.
Curtis, Jamie Lee Curtis. There you go. Yeah, she was in it, and I thought that's something to show. Okay, I have like a little spoiler right here. Hope you don't mind.
I
She,
don't mind.
all right, her character, she is my like. It's like right. It takes place. It feels like it takes place. Her character takes place right after Halloween because she does not die. She literally doesn't die. Like they try to kill her at one
Go
point.
ahead and keep talking.
All right, well, basically, they try to kill Jamie Lee Curtis in this one episode, and she literally didn't. She didn't die. She just kept coming back. I don't know. It's like she really is Michael Myers' sister. So where's Slammer Slumber? Oh no, he probably had to do something real quick. Oh no, he's probably in the bathroom, right? Well, I'm here playing GTA. having a good time sniping people. Cops can't get me because I'm on Mount Chiliad, or that's what it's called. Mount Chiliad. I don't know how to pronounce it. Pretty cool site. You can see alien stuff, and I'm playing online. But if you guys play story, if you guys play 100%, you guys can see a really cool UFO. Yeah, pretty nice. No one really knows about the whole UFOs. They don't really explain them well. They're just cool Easter eggs. And they're really Mount Chiliad is really fun to jump off. I don't know. You most likely will die. I'm actually gonna try that now. Let's see if I survive. Click, click, click. All right, jump. Open parachute. Wow, what a nice sight. It's fun being up here. It's really easy to die though. So yeah, you get a really great view of the city and mostly of the countryside. You barely get to see the city actually. I think you barely see the city. Yeah, a lot of people come here for to do stunts and all that. I wonder if Mount Chili that is a real place. I have no idea. Hey, Nightmare Slumber, are you back?
Yeah, sorry about that. There's a little gremlin in my house trying to murder me.
Yeah, I was just telling them a little bit about Jamie Lee Curtis not wanting to die, and she's literally Michael Myers' sister in that show in Scream Queens, and I was talking about a little bit of GTA. Yeah,
Yeah, all right. Uh, so what's the next topic?
let's talk about. You want to talk about story wise?
Story? Yeah, seems pretty
Yeah,
important.
yeah, it's very important. I think, and then after story, we'll talk about soundtrack.
Yeah, all right.
Soundtrack's important also. So yeah, story. Think of a good movie like that has a really good story, good horror movie that has good
Have you
example.
seen the Babadook?
Oh yes, that movie. Yeah, that movie is yeah, it's amazing.
So, in my opinion, a good story has, for at least for a horror movie, has a good build up, good character development for both the normal characters, the main character, the side characters, and the killer. Unless it's a monster. If
Yeah,
it's a
except the
monster,
monster.
then if it's a monster, then you should keep it um, pretty like mysterious, which brings me on to another thing. Keep good mystery inside your story because everybody loves a good mystery, and it really shakes things up when you're doing it. And make the reveal pretty good. Don't do it like super obvious. Try to make it hard to guess what the plot twist is going to be. Like in the movie The Visit. Have you
I haven't
seen
seen that
that?
movie. No, I haven't seen it. I
Oh,
don't mind spoilers.
all
Go
right.
ahead.
Okay,
I already heard
so
spoilers anyway.
all right, so spoilers for The Visit. Just mute the audio for a few seconds, I guess. But yeah, the so the grandparents they end up being uh, mental. They end up being mental patients from an insane asylum, and it's pretty obvious because throughout the movie they show the asylum a lot, and there's a bunch of references to it, and it ends up
Yeah.
being pretty obvious.
Even in the trailers, I feel like they made it really obvious that there's something not right about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a terrible reveal. I can already tell, and I haven't seen the movie.
So what
So yeah,
about
let's
you? For you,
uh,
what's a good example of a story?
let's see. Well, I kind of want to continue the Babadook. Let's continue the Babadook.
Babadook? All
Yeah,
right, I almost forgot. Um, but yeah, the Babadook was really good. Like one of my favorite kinds of horror movies are those just like focused on a small area, like just inside a house with like not that many characters.
yeah,
Because I feel like it's more relatable, and that movie terrified me for a while.
yeah. And you actually feel like for a good, the way you know it's a good horror movie is that you actually feel like you're in the horror movie. You actually feel what the emotions the characters are going through.
Yeah, Babadook did a good job at doing that. I watched it, I think, 3 times with 3 different people, and every time we were all like shooken up. We got the shivers, and we felt like we were actually in there. And it's also great. metaphor for like dealing with depression and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't want to give spoilers away, but yeah, it's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
yeah, highly recommend it. And same thing with like Nightmare on Elm Street, like the original one, with like you can feel like what Nancy's going through, like which is really good. You actually feel like her exhaustion and stress, which is what I like about the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, and same thing with the original Halloween. When Laurie, like the scene when Laurie's running down the street, knocking on doors, and no one's answering, you could really feel like it feels like you're being chased by Michael Myers, and you really don't want him to get her. Um,
Yeah, yeah, that's how you know it's a good horror movie, is that you actually feel like you're in the movie.
yeah,
So yeah, let's move on to soundtrack.
the soundtrack is really important for setting up the atmosphere.
Yeah,
Um, like one soundtrack that I really like was I recently watched the first Hellraiser movie, and I haven't seen it before.
yeah,
And
I saw that one not too long ago too.
yeah, and the soundtrack was it's an interesting thing that really unnerves you. It's this just these weird noises with chains rattling.
Yeah,
Stuff like that could be creepy, or like violins can sometimes be creepy if you do it in the right way.
yeah, like nowadays for horror movies, they just make everything silent, and that's not. I don't think they should do that.
Yeah, no, it's especially if they're doing a jump scare, everything
Yeah,
goes silent, all the characters stop talking, and you just know that it's gonna happen. And it's it's really stupid and really annoying.
yeah,
And
it's really obvious. Like I mean, it's really predictable.
yes, um, the Nightmare on Elm Street soundtrack, like Freddy Krueger's theme, kind of. That one's like it's mystical and it feels like you're dreaming. So
Yeah,
and that
it's
goes with
really
the whole
eerie.
theme. Yeah, and of course the Michael Myers themes, the the little like piano thing,
Yeah,
one of the most famous, probably the most famous horror movie soundtrack ever.
yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, my favorite soundtracks have to be the Halloween one and Nightmare on Elm Street. Those are my two favorite ones of all time.
Yeah, definitely. Oh
Oh, and The Exorcist. The Exorcist also. That's a great example
yeah,
of a great horror movie.
The Exorcist it was great. Although I didn't get scared when I watched it, but
Yeah, me neither.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say that's because I watch way too many horror movies, and
Same.
I can see how it was one of the scariest movies when it came out. Because
Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty creepy to think about demonic possessions and stuff.
yeah. I feel like watching all these horror movies since I was a kid, I kind of lost my sense of fear.
Yeah, me too. And
Like
it's interesting because
yeah,
my grandma's the one who introduced me to horror movies, but I'm glad she did.
yeah. Me too. Well, for me, it was just me and my sister watching them all the time as a kid, and then my stepdad is who got me to like the old school horror movies like Halloween and all that. I used to be scared of Michael Myers was like my worst fear back then. I used to be so
Oh
scared of
yeah,
him.
I remember when I was like 6 or 7. Me and my one of my friends, we would watch Halloween 2 and The Gate. If you ever seen that
Oh,
one,
The Gate. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
great movie. I love
yeah,
that
we would
movie.
watch those two like all the time. Like whenever he would come over, we would just watch those two, and we'd get really scared. Or when he got a computer, we would watch a bunch of scary videos. Uh,
Yeah. Another great soundtrack is the Child's Play soundtrack.
yeah, and the soundtrack that only really played like at the end credits and
Yeah.
the DVD menu.
Yeah. I used to be scared. I think everyone was scared of Chucky at one point when they were younger.
Oh yeah, of course. There was a time where I would refuse to watch anything that had to do with Chucky.
Yeah, I know, same. But
But then I finally watched it and I was like, oh, it's pretty creepy. It's not that scary. All right, cool. I can
I
watch this.
I feel like when you learn about the story, it gets less scary.
Yeah, it's like it's giving not a face to what you've been scared of, but like a backstory. Because that's how I was when I first got introduced to creepypastas. I was terrified of the characters. I was terrified of Slender Man, Jeff the Killer, Eyeless Jack, and then I read their stories, and I'm just like, oh, well, it's kind of cool. Although Jeff's story is not well written at all when you think about it.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it has its flaws, but it's still very enjoyable. Still very enjoyable.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of people are trying to make a Jeff the Killer movie, and there's been a few Slenderman movies, and the Slenderman movies aren't good at all.
There's yeah,
Like,
I saw one of them on HBO, and it was I don't know. I feel like yeah, it's just boring, and they didn't really get the character right.
yeah, and they're trying to do it in like the found footage
Yeah,
type movies, and that's only because of the web series called Marble Hornets, which if you haven't seen that, go watch it because that was one of the first pieces of Slenderman media to ever come out, and it is amazing. The story is great, the characters are great, and it's over now, but it's still a good watch. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. There are two other famous Slenderman web series that are also pretty good. There's one called Everyman Hybrid, and there's one called Tribe 12, and those are pretty good too. I highly recommend watching them.
are they on YouTube or like?
Yeah, they're on YouTube.
I'm
But
gonna check those out.
Marble Hornets did get a few DVD releases,
Oh, that's
so
cool.
that's interesting.
Yeah, they are gonna make a FNAF movie. If you didn't know, it's coming out 2018.
Yeah, and
It's gonna take a while.
there's so much FNAF merchandise like at the mall or at Target or something. I'll see a little like plushies of the characters and there's like posters and stuff and
Yeah,
shirts.
I just hope it keeps its popularity, like for at least a good 2 decades or something. Like A Nightmare on Elm Street did, because like A Nightmare on Elm Street when it first came out, the character Freddy Krueger became super popular. If you didn't know, like there's even a Freddy Krueger Day. If you didn't know,
There is?
yeah, but they stopped celebrating it because of 9/11, because it's
Oh,
on the 12th of September.
oh, well, that's
Yeah, but people still celebrate it a little bit. You have to say "bitch" after every sentence you say.
that sounds like a fun holiday.
Yeah, everyone like celebrates it differently. So yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. Um,
yeah,
all right, so what else? We just finished soundtracks and a bunch of other stuff.
yeah. Like what's it called, like let's say oh yeah, something about the soundtrack. Conjuring. What I like about those movies is that the jump scares aren't predictable, which is what I like. Like you feel like there's gonna like something's actually gonna pop out because the music, then starts coming up. The soundtrack comes up again, and then something nothing happens at all until like it just goes to another scene, which is a good example of a horror movie,
Yeah,
which is what makes the
I
Conjuring movies.
remember when I watched the first one in theaters, I was scared to take a drink of my soda like at almost at all times because I didn't want to spill it all over myself.
Yeah, yeah. James Wan, he's just really he always impresses when he makes a horror movie.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, he's gonna be directing Aquaman next, which I
Oh,
heard about.
really?
Yeah, he's a lot of people thought he was the director of the Flash because they lost their director for Flash, but then yeah, like oh no, we lost James Wan. I'm like I don't think so. That's he's not even directing that movie. So I thought people were misunderstood, and yeah, they found out the truth.
Well, that's interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah, I like how the characters like. A lot of people don't like the DCEU or whatever it's called, DC Extended Universe, because they say it's too dark. But I like the dark tones, you know.
Yeah, and Batman v Superman was good, but it worked better as a Batman film, not a Superman film.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more of a Batman movie. You can tell
Yeah,
because
and I
it's
also
very
love
dark
Ben
tone.
Affleck as Batman.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're getting off topic, so we got to go back to our horror.
All
But
right. So,
let's think. So we got through story, character development, soundtracks, and
uh, the design of the antagonist, like the killer or
yeah.
the monster, we haven't talked about that.
Oh yeah, we need to get into that. So let's start that.
All right. So how about you go first? Talk about Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger. He's very popular for having such a bizarre look to him. Like he has a very bizarre design to him. Like he's burnt. He has a Christmas sweater, and he has a fedora, which is like that's what made him. That's what made Freddy Krueger very so popular. Like a lot of people thought that was such a random concept, and it actually is. But it's it's very interesting.
Yeah, that's the Freddy Krueger design was very unique, and there's
And his
been
murder weapon. We
oh,
forgot
well,
his murder
definitely his
weapon.
murder weapon. I mean, come on, it's a glove with knives attached to it.
Yeah,
Who would
that's
have
very
thought of
interesting.
that?
Because nowadays it's just like someone has maybe like a machete, a gun, and a chainsaw, and it's just no, it's too cliche. Unless you're Jason and maybe Leatherface or something, like you get a pass, or Michael Myers.
Yeah, the Michael Myers is interesting because they got a mask of Captain Kirk from Star Trek, and they just kind of repainted it, and then that
Yeah,
was his mask, and that became one of the faces of horror. And
yeah,
Jason is interesting because a guy holding like a giant machete and it's like a really big guy wearing a hockey mask coming at you, that's pretty scary. But when he
yeah,
takes off the mask, it's just even scarier.
yeah. Which is what makes like what's it called he Jason. I think he has all like the original horror cliches in every movie. That's what
Yeah.
yeah. Basically, he's like the one about yeah. But I feel like sometimes people go overboard and try to make him so scary that ends up just not looking scary. It just looks stupid and yeah, it just looks terrible.
Yeah, like Jason X. What? I didn't say anything. I'm not naming names. I'm naming names. Jason X is horrible.
Yeah, because like I feel like they're trying really hard when they made his new design, which looked terrible. Like I still prefer the regular design that you had. I thought the regular design looked okay, even though they looked a little weird. But it was kind of interesting because he had like that like I don't know, they take him to like a facility, like the government takes over him, trying to kill him, trying everything they can, and nothing works, and all that stuff.
Yeah, that was weird.
Ghostface has a good costume, like, and it makes sense too.
Yeah, the Ghostface was a new thing. I remember when I first saw Scream, I thought that the costume was interesting. You know,
Yeah, like it makes sense. Like that's a type of costume you would go buy. Like if you're just like a teenager, you don't have a lot of money, but you got some cash on you, so you're gonna just buy this random Halloween costume and you're gonna
yeah,
wear it
it's like
to go kill someone.
you stop by Party City real quick, just grab.
Yeah.
That's the kind of costume that was.
Same thing with Michael Myers. Like his I like his design too. It's really it's really what's that word? It's really not plain, but it's really what's that
Uh,
word?
I,
Help me out.
I know what you're thinking of, but I can't fit. I forgot the word too.
Well,
Um,
it's like at the tip of my tongue. It's like right there. It's a really it's really
simple.
yeah. There you go. It's
Simple.
simple. It's really nice and simple, and like and it makes sense too. Like I'm pretty sure if a guy who's on the run from the cops and they're trying to catch him because they're all looking for, well, not everyone, but at least Samuel Loomis is, and what's his name, the his
The
I don't know,
sheriff.
he kind of, yeah, the sheriff are looking for him. It makes sense that he would just pick up a random mask from a store, take a couple of butcher knives with him, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah, because unlike in the Rob Zombie remake, he didn't automatically have his mask that was stuck under the
Yeah,
floorboard somehow.
yeah, I know. How was he? Yeah, every time I watch something, like I'm like, who put it there anyway? The first place doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's really stupid. I don't like that. And a thing that I really hate is Michael Myers' design in the second movie, Halloween 2, with the freaking hood and all that. He's wearing like a hoodie now, and
Yeah, that was stupid.
like it's really, I don't know. Like right there, you can tell like he tried too hard to make a new design for him, and he thought maybe thought it would have been a good idea at first, but when he watched the movie, his movie's like, yeah, okay, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that they did that. They should just keep it too nice and simple and all that. Like, have you seen the movie? Have you seen the movie Hush? I don't know. Have you seen that movie?
Yes, I have actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
The the design in that was pretty creepy too until he took the mask off.
I don't know. I feel like the movie became less interesting like that.
What? Yeah.
Like, I kind of I wanted to know, like, oh, I wonder who's gonna, like, his reveal was kind of, I don't know. It wasn't good. Should have kept the mask on throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was kind of clever for him to take it off because he said, like, oh, yeah, now I have a reason to be here. So, I mean, to kill you and all that because now you know who I am. But still, I thought that was kind of, I don't know. I don't think they should have went for that.
Yeah, me neither. Or maybe like he just lifted the mask up, but the camera would go behind him so he didn't see his face, and then he keeps it on for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I think that's what they should. Yeah, they kind of went a wrong approach. I think that's what they should have done instead.
Yeah.
But oh well. But yeah, the movie it's an okay movie. It had its flaws.
Yeah. It was more of a thriller than a horror movie.
Yeah. But the reason why it's in the horror genre is because because of its horror themes, I guess.
Yeah.
So
There
that's
were
it.
a few parts that got me on the edge of my seat, I would say. But not like
Like when yeah.
yeah, not like how an actual like horror movie is supposed to scare you. It's just suspense, which is definitely a good thing to have in a horror movie. You need to have good
Yeah, suspense.
suspense.
And it needs to be intense also.
Yes, and
Like
don't
The Conjuring is a good
yeah,
example.
and don't like overflow it with gore. Like gore is okay to have as long as you have the other elements right, like the soundtrack, the story, character development. Gore is okay,
Yeah.
but don't make it like so much to where it's not scary anymore. It's just kind of disturbing.
Yeah, like Halloween 2. Again, with Halloween 2, we keep talking about Halloween 2. Well, Halloween 2, I feel like he tried to make the character more violent. Like he's already as violent as it is, but I feel like Rob Zombie made him too violent that it wasn't. It was just like, yeah, he's continuing to kill him. He's just overkilling them, and that's it.
Yeah, and they made him talk at the end.
Yeah, that was only in the unrated edition. If you haven't seen the
Yeah,
theatrical, I saw the theatrical, which I prefer a lot more. I prefer watching the theatrical version because I don't know. I think that's stupid. Michael Myers is a character that shouldn't talk at all.
yeah. Because um, I'd gotten, I hadn't seen the second one. I saw the first one in theaters, and I hadn't seen the second one. And I was with my grandma, and we went to a yard sale, and they had the unrated version of the second one, so we just got it there. And that's
Yeah,
when I saw the second one.
yeah. I hate the unrated edition. It's really bad. But I mean, like the theatrical version was a little bit better, but it's still it still needs some fixing.
Yeah. Another
I feel like
thing that the Halloween remakes are good for is if you're with friends and you want to make fun of something, watch both of those movies.
yeah. Same thing with Jason, Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh yeah, Freddy versus Jason. Like at least Freddy versus Jason was made like it they knew that it wasn't like supposed to be really scary, that it was kind of like comedic.
Yeah, it's like a comedy. It's a horror comedy.
Yeah.
Which yeah, I guess a lot of fans got upset about that. But come on, like yeah, I don't know. I'm happy the way the movie is.
Yeah, because the way that they were doing both of those characters by the time they started making Freddy versus Jason, there really wasn't any other way that they could have gone that would have been good. But yeah, I'm happy with the way Freddy versus Jason turned out.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I know they wanted to go a different approach. They did want it to be a little bit darker, but I don't know.
Yeah, it would have. I maybe if it was a little darker, it could have been a little better.
Well, yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, because those characters are supposed to be dark, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the only character that actually deserves to have lots of gore in their movies is like maybe like Freddy, Jason, and maybe Leatherface because like yeah, maybe you haven't seen those movies, you wouldn't know what I mean.
Yeah. The Hellraiser movies are pretty gory too, so
Yeah,
I guess Pinhead deserves to have gore in his movie.
yeah, yeah, he's one of those characters that deserve tons of gore. Types of characters like Michael Myers, like yeah, he's violent and very vicious the way he kills him, just brutal, but it doesn't need to be super gory.
Yeah, like most of the originals, they weren't really gory that much. Like, yeah, the he's Michael Myers is a very brutal killer, but he wasn't. He's not really known to be super gory.
Yeah, which is how Halloween 2 ended up being just very gory and that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do we talk about now?
We talked about design. Um, are we only talking about horror movies, or could we talk about other types of horror stuff?
Yeah, we can talk about other stuff. Before we do, let's talk about unnecessary sequels.
Oh, yeah. How could I forget the unnecessary sequels?
There's so many. It's crazy.
Yeah, like quite a few of the Friday the 13th sequels were. We could have done without them. Like the one where he fights that one girl with telekinesis.
Yeah. Like really, the one thing I liked about the whole movie was his design. I love his. He had a great design in that movie, but that's about it. Everything else in
Yeah,
the movie, yeah, like it was very unnecessary and But it's still, I guess, I had an interesting concept because a lot of I don't know, for some reason they kept comparing Jason to Carrie, which is pretty stupid. I don't know why. So they wanted to add a girl with telekinesis, which was really random.
yeah, it was pretty random and unnecessary. I guess also maybe H2O. No, H2O was okay as a sequel, but Halloween Resurrection,
Was
uh, we
terrible.
we could have done without that.
Yeah,
Uh,
or they should at least taken a different approach to the movie. It was
they should have at least not killed off Laurie in the first 10 minutes of the movie. Oops, spoilers. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that pissed me off, and that's the thing I didn't like about the movie. Like that was like the main thing about the movie was her character in the resurrection. Like she's even on the cover, and then she ended up not being. Yeah, like yeah, it's just another like unnecessary sequels is that they change the story sometimes. Like the Nightmare and Night the I can't even speak right now. The Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, they change the story a lot. Like when I got to the fifth one, I feel like when I got to the fifth one, like, they kind of
Yeah,
changed yeah, you guys know what I mean. Same thing with this. Well, it was mostly the sixth one that messed up the story a lot because like when did he ever have a daughter? And I thought he was a psychopath. Why would he be married to someone? Like that was just stupid.
yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah, don't change the story if you're gonna make sequels. Like, go ahead and make sequels, but make sequels that are actually good. But there's some terrible sequels that are so bad that they're good. Like Jason X is so bad that it's good, or like Jason Takes Manhattan. You haven't seen
Yeah,
that one,
yeah.
the eighth one.
I
Like
don't
I don't
think I've
know,
seen. I don't
what's
think
up?
I've seen Jason Takes Manhattan yet.
It's I don't know why, but for some reason I really like that movie. I seen that movie like so many times and never got told. I just like the movie. I guess just because it's Jason. He had a lot of memorable kills. Same thing with the seventh one. The seventh
Hmm.
Friday 13th. He had a lot of great kills in that movie, even
Yeah,
though the
yeah,
movie wasn't good. Because really, the if you think about it, the antagonist isn't Jason. He's more of the protagonist just because he wants everyone to stay off his land. He's just a guy trying to take care of his land, and people keep getting on it, and he wants him dead.
yeah.
That's
Come
about
on,
it.
guys, leave Jason alone.
Yeah. Like, if you really think about it, in every movie, he's fine the way he is until people actually go on his land and they screw something up and they resurrect him again.
You'd think they closed down Camp Crystal. Wait, didn't they end up closing it in one of the movies, but it didn't work because people still went there?
Yeah, people
Yeah,
trespass too much.
yeah.
But it was reopened in the movie in
And
Jason Lives
Jason Goes to Hell? What?
and Jason
What?
Lives.
Oh, yeah, because I remember in Jason Goes to Hell, they just kind of changed the name and they just left it.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, it was okay. In the first Friday 13th, people were trespassing on the abandoned camp, and well, actually, no, I think they bought the camp actually or something like that. I can't remember. I have to watch the first one again. Let's
Yeah,
see.
me too.
And then I don't really watch the first two. I don't know. The first two are like they're interesting, but they're kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just boring. Like I can't stand watching those movies. Like they have a good story, but the movie it's really slow. It's slow paced, and yeah, it's just we're just seeing the teenagers, and that's it. The characters that we don't really care about.
Yeah.
We don't want that. Another unnecessary sequel is like maybe Friday 13th Part 5, The New Beginning. Like it's interesting, but it was very unnecessary because it feels like a remake, but it's not. It's kind of like a remake between the movies.
Which one was that one? Because I watched them out of order and I don't remember.
The fifth one, it takes place after the fourth one when Jason, because Jason in the first four movies of Jason, he wasn't immortal yet. He was still like just he was just hard to kill and that's it. But
Yeah.
yeah, in the fourth one, he was officially dead. And the original idea was that the Friday 13th, the final chapter, was supposed to be the last movie, but then they wanted to do more. They wanted to continue it because it was getting tons of praise, and fans wanted more. And then the story of the fifth one, it's what's his name, Tommy. I forgot his last name, Tommy Doyle, something like that.
Oh,
If you didn't know him from the fourth one,
that's the
in the
one where
six.
it didn't really have Jason then, right?
Yeah, it wasn't really
Okay.
Jason. It was just a copycat.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I remember now.
Yeah, that movie. That I felt like that movie was kind of necessary, and it didn't really they didn't really need it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's we can go on for unnecessary sequels. There's just I
There's
don't know.
so
I feel like
many.
people just make them
Yeah, so many unnecessary sequels.
like they just make them like when they do make it when you make a sequel that actually matters. Like you have to like actually take their time. I feel like the at that time when all they're rushing, a lot of horror movies were being rushed and all that stuff, just because of fans and money. So yeah, we want to talk about another other type of movies.
I feel like we've been neglecting creepy pastas.
Oh yeah, let's talk about creepypastas.
All right. Well, uh, since we mentioned Jeff the Killer earlier, let's talk about the many Jeff the Killer clones that there are.
Yeah, there's so many. Like yeah, there's like about like five or more. I don't know. I think there's so many.
Yeah, there's like Tiki Toby is kind of a copycat from Jeff. The way his
Yeah,
backstory was and his design.
he did have a pretty cool design though. But
Yeah,
yeah, he was.
that's one of the things that I really liked about him.
And let's see. There's Jane. I feel like Jane the Killer is the only cool clone that actually matters to the story.
Yeah, and it's Jane the Killer. Jane the Killer is interesting because she doesn't really have like a set backstory, but there are a few things saying that kind of mention her story. Like, but
Yeah.
all of them really have like her living near Jeff when Jeff's story takes place.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like she was just added in there, and like she was actually in the story where when what's his name when Jeff the Killer first became a psychopath and had the
Yeah,
feeling. The
the
feeling. That's funny.
feeling.
Yeah. They never explained the feeling. I feel like they should have explained that a little bit more.
Yeah, that was one of the problems with the Jeff the Killer story. Like if they were I feel like if they were to make a movie about Jeff's origins, they would have to. It would be a good idea to add in Jane as like a side character,
Yeah,
and because it would obviously have to be longer than how the story said it was.
yeah. And also, they
Uh,
should explain his insanity. Like they didn't really explain his insanity, which I was hoping they would, but they haven't done that yet.
yeah, no, it was just kind of explained away as the feeling.
Yeah.
There are a couple fan fictions that say that it was Zalgo who was making him become insane. You remember, you know Zalgo, right?
Pretty sure. Yeah. I mean, I've
Yeah.
heard of him, but I haven't really listened to any creepypastas about him.
I think I've only heard I've heard two. One, it was like a weird poem, which I think was the first thing that one of the first things that came up of Zalgo, and the second one was like an actual creepypasta, like a story. They were both pretty good. The poem was definitely unnerving. Um, the words were weird, but yeah, no. Is some people say that Jeff's the feeling that Jeff was getting was Zalgo making him go insane, making him kill people.
I don't know. I think it should be from another reason, not from
Yeah,
another character. Like it should just be something. Yeah.
because really, there's no connection between Jeff the Killer or any of the other creepypasta characters.
Yeah. Yeah. There's too many clones. Like Louis the killer. No, his is not the
Oh,
killer. They have
it's
the homicide.
uh, Homicidal Lou. That's what it
Yeah.
was. Okay, that takes me back a couple years because I got. I remember I got like way into some of the fan stuff that they were making of Jeff the Killer, and even back then, I thought most of it was really stupid, especially
Yeah.
Homicidal Lou. That because Lou's dead, he can't be a killer because he's dead.
Yeah. I mean, at first it sounded like a pretty cool concept, but like we should just say that he's dead.
Yeah,
Like you hear me what you're talking about. Like maybe he didn't kill him. Maybe he just like he scarred him. And know that. Maybe that's it. But left him tons of wounds.
yeah, that because in the story, all it says was that he like aimed for Lou's heart and then tried to stab him there, and that's kind of where it ends.
Yeah.
So we don't know if he missed or not.
But yeah.
It
I
was
hope
Tar.
they yeah. I hope they make a Jeff the Killer movie and a Jenny Killer. I feel like she's like the only character that should be in there. But yeah, side character. But they shouldn't like she shouldn't come out too much, but maybe just like come up like a good amount, so like they can get ready to make a movie about her. Like she should they both should have their own movies. Hello? I don't know what happened.
Hang on, I'm doing something. Keep talking.
But yeah, I think Jeff the Killer and Jane the Killer deserve their own film, so they can explain the characters really well and yeah, their whole origin and backstory really well. And it would take at least a good an hour and 30 minutes, maybe even more. Yeah, I just need to take their time.
All right, sorry about that. I had to get food and turn the fan on because it is way too hot in my room.
Yeah, it's pretty hot day today. Well, it's like in the middle.
It is summer.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the summer.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's a
Summer
great
and
time.
winter are my favorite seasons.
I'm not so sure which ones are my favorites. I think yeah, I think winter's a nice time. I don't know. I like that. I like that Christmas vibe. But I also like that Halloween vibe too. It's a great
Yeah,
feeling. So yeah, yeah.
winter mostly because my birthday's
Coming
Christmas
up.
Eve.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Next topic.
But yeah. Oh yeah. Do you want to continue about because I was talking about how like Jeff the Killer and Jane the Killer should have like their own separate movies, so they can explain the characters really well and have a good
Hmm.
story.
All right, so um, I've had um, I've had an idea for like um, kind of a storyline for Jeff and Jane. Um, like if I were ever to make a movie, or if someone were to make a movie, or if I was to write so like a book or something, uh, they would have their own separate things, except Jeff's thing would come first, and you'd kind of get like a teaser for Jane, and then Jane would come.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where I am with that, and because there are a couple things a couple ideas that I had uh, a few years ago that I might want to bring back. Like, um, remember when I was working on the Jeff the Killer versus Michael Myers thing?
Oh yeah.
I might bring that back.
But yeah, not too long ago, I was talking about a story that I was creating. Like, it needs a lot of fixing. That's why I didn't like send you it, like the story. And I was hoping maybe we can work on it together. You know that I don't know if I ever talked about him a lot. The character, this character I made, the dark shapeshifter.
I don't think you talked about him, and also we have a viewer.
Oh really? I wonder who it is.
Hello, viewer. If you are there and you want to ask a question, go ahead. There's stuff. There's a chat, I think. Nope, never mind. Okay, wow, that's stupid. There's
What
a
happened?
thing that said Q&A, and when I pushed it, it said this feature is disabled.
Wow.
Anyways, so as you were saying about your character,
Yeah, like, cause the story that I created was like in fifth grade, and obviously I didn't have a lot of knowledge and all that, so it
hmm
was kind of like, yeah, it was so bad, and I even went back through it, and it's terrible. It's so bad for like, 'cause, it's fifth grade. It's you had tons of imagination, a lot of things that need tons of fixing. I need a better I'm having a lot of trouble on how to start the story, like the mood and all that. Like I originally started with this character that I created. I forgot her name. I actually don't even remember. Basically, the main character. She was the protagonist, and the dark shifter was like the antagonist, and it started out as like her. She's just having she keeps having dreams about this character, and like eventually she actually does see him in real life, and she like freaks out
hey,
obviously, and like this. She's
that kind of sounds like the beginning of 1911. Not to give too many spoilers, but it's pretty close.
yeah. And then not too long ago, I had a different approach to the way it's starting the setting, and maybe it could be that it starts out as the ending of the movie, and then she's just remembering all the events that happened to the beginning. I don't know. It's gonna take a while. But we could
Yeah,
probably work on it one
and if
day.
you need any help, go ahead and ask me. I'm good with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I have the design already. I had the design. Like that's I think that's like one of the first things I started with was the design of the character, which I'm happy with the design. He has like a big trench coat, or not a trench coat, like a big ass jacket. I have a thing for jackets. I don't know, like
Yeah,
leather
me too.
jacket.
I like those kinds of jackets too on characters.
Yeah, like those. What are those called? I think that's what they call it, right? I don't know. They're like a big long
The
leather
trench coats
jackets.
or the
Yeah,
leather
yeah,
jackets, kind
yeah.
of trench
But
coat things.
yeah, that. And he
I
wears like
have
a
a leather
hat,
jacket.
and he wears like maybe like a black mask to cover his face. Yeah,
hmm
and he can like shapeshift and yeah. I came up with the origin at one point. I'm not so sure how if it's a good one though. I'm still working on it though. I just have like tons of like pieces to fill in, and maybe we can work on that too.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
But it's kind of funny though. It's kind of like his origin story is kind of like one of those freak accidents that he like fell into like a to some new chemicals that they're creating and all that stuff.
Kind of like one of the many origins that they made for the Joker.
Yeah, basically, and superheroes and stuff like that.
Oh, did you hear? Apparently, there are three Jokers in the comics.
In total.
Yeah, there are three Jokers. Three different backstories, three Jokers.
Wait, like in one universe?
Yep.
I did not hear about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy because in the comic the Justice League were fighting Darkseid, and all the Justice League ended up becoming like gods for a while,
Oh
and
yeah,
Batman was the god of knowledge, and so
Shazam
he
was the god
asked,
of gods.
yeah, and so that's how Batman figured out that there are three Jokers.
Yeah, I watched this one guy who explains like the comics, and I've only read a couple of that series. I had no idea what was happening and why Batman was like that. But yeah, God of Knowledge. Yeah, I listened to that a little bit. It was pretty interesting, but I had no idea what was going on because they have to start from the beginning.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'd recommend starting from the beginning because
It's gonna be
stuff gets
confusing.
crazy. But yeah,
Flash became. I think Flash had the coolest one. He was like the god of
the
death.
God of Death. Yeah,
Yeah, I like his. I think the Flash is just an interesting character. He's like my second favorite superhero, like in the DC universe.
yeah. Because when I started hearing more about him, he started becoming a one of my favorite
Yeah,
characters.
yeah. It's very interesting. He's not just like a boring character that runs hella fast and that's it. Like that's how a lot of characters are. Like Quicksilver, he can't really do a lot. He just runs fast. And I
Yeah,
thought Flash was interesting because he can time travel, go to alternate dimensions, and all that stuff, which I thought was really interesting. Like a Justice. Oh, you heard about Justice 2, right?
yeah. I heard about it.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that. I really want to get that game, but I'm probably not gonna buy it. I'm gonna wait till the because I don't like wasting money on DLCs. I like to buy games when they're all in one disc. It's like Mortal Kombat XL was like that. Mortal Kombat 9. Let's see, like the Injustice game, the first one had all the DLCs in there. If you waited after like for the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah,
Yeah, when it comes to games, I guess I'm pretty patient because like I don't really care. But if it's like a movie, then and I liked it a lot, then I need to buy it as soon as possible.
yeah. I know how that feels.
Yeah, like movies are my life. Like I need to buy the movie as soon as possible. But I hate it when like they make like a like you bought the movie and then after that what's it called they made like a cool new format to it or like I don't know like a cool addition to it. It's like oh man, I was being too impatient. I should have just waited.
Yeah,
Yeah, The Conjuring 2. I plan on buying that movie when it first comes out. Amazing.
I might, depending on how it is when I see it. Um,
Yeah, it's really good. I think you'll like it. I think it seems like your kind of movie.
I have a feeling I'll like it. I like the trailers, so I'm pretty sure I'll like it. Usually, usually I can tell if like a horror, not just a horror movie, but like if a movie is gonna be bad based off the trailer.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'm wrong. Like,
yeah. There can be movies with like really crappy ass trailers and they end up being really good. Like a good example is The Great Gatsby. If you haven't seen the movie, that I love that movie. That movie's amazing. That movie had to like the trailer like so boring. The movie made it like really boring, but it looked kind of interesting just because yeah I don't know. It just when I watched, I still wanted to watch the movie for some reason. I guess because it had Tommy Maguire and what's his name, Leonardo DiCaprio, two of the one of the best actors.
yeah,
Like yeah, and the movie
that's
ended
how.
up.
Good.
Oh, okay, yeah. And the movie ended up being really good. I thought it had a great story. You actually feel for the characters and you care about them, and it was really, really emotional. It was a pretty sad movie at the end, though. Really, it was really unpredictable too. I didn't know that would have happened.
Yeah, no, that's
But
how
I'm
I
done.
felt. That's how I felt about The Revenant. I wasn't really interested in it, and I was just kind of forced to watch it, and I ended up liking it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, the movie looked like, yeah, it looked really boring, but at the same time, it kind of had like, I was kind of, I had some kind of interest for it, and I ended up watching
Yeah,
it. I think it's just because it's Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know. I feel like every time he's making a movie, and like the trailers they have for the movie that he appears in, it looks really boring and terrible, but then it ends up being really good.
yeah, and I think the interest is seeing whether or not this is finally the movie that gets him his Oscar,
Yeah, I
and
think
it
that's it.
was.
Yeah,
It
finally.
was.
I feel like it took so long for him just to get an Oscar. It's sad.
Oh
He's
yeah,
a good actor.
he deserved it a while back.
Yeah. Since Critters 3. No, I'm just kidding. Critters 3 wasn't his best.
Critters 3 was
I think one
that
of
was,
his yeah, it's just not his best.
was
I mean,
it
like
was
it
an
was his
interesting.
first. It's still an enjoyable movie though.
Yeah, interesting first movie.
Yeah.
I love the
A lot
Critters
of
series.
yeah, I like all the movies. They're amazing. I don't know. Except for the fourth one's probably my least favorite because I don't know. I feel like the movie didn't really focus on them a lot. I feel like it focused more on the other characters.
It's usually whenever they try to do something like in space, they do it. They end up like messing up on something.
Yeah, I know it's so true. Didn't they have an original idea to make a Freddy Krueger movie that was gonna be in space? Because they were doing it with Jason, they were doing it with Leprechaun, and all that stuff, and Critters obviously. And then they were saying, "Oh yeah, let's do that for Freddy now." A lot of the people thought it was stupid, so like, let's not do that. Which
I
I'm
wouldn't.
pretty happy that
Yeah,
they didn't
that's
do it. I can't even imagine how bad it would have been, and it would have made no sense. Like, why would Freddy be in space? Like, there's no reason for him to be there.
they would have made a dumb reason for it.
Yeah, they're probably like, oh yeah, there's this character that he's been after since she was little, and now he's finally gonna catch her because she's in space. I bet. I don't know. Or maybe she once lived in Elm Street and now she's in space, and now they're trying to get her.
Or they moved Elm Street into space.
It's like I don't know. Like it ends up being like a whole Martian movie. Oh yeah, and everyone moved into Mars, so now they got to go to space because Earth is gone now.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. The Martian was a good movie. I didn't get to see it all though. I was watching it. I was finally watching it on at school, and it was really hard to understand because people were being annoying as hell in
Oh.
class, even though they all voted for that movie. The movies were Godzilla 2000, even though it came out in 1999. Yeah, I know, but I guess because in America it came out 2000, they call it that. And it was King Kong, the amazing what's his name? The amazing what's his name? What's the director's name again? I always forget his name. Peter
Uh,
Jackson.
oh, well, Peter Jackson. Yes.
Yeah, he's an amazing director. Yeah, his King Kong is amazing. It's the best. Have you seen that movie? The 2005 King Kong movie?
Yeah. Though I think that was
Yeah,
the first King Kong movie that I watched.
yeah, same here. And then I kind of got interested in the character. Yeah,
Hmm.
people voted. I don't know. I feel like watching King Kong more since I know what's happening, since I've seen the movie so many times, and I remember the line and in the audio script.
Yeah, the Martian is a good movie. If you ever get a chance, you should watch the rest of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to watch it by myself maybe because I don't like yeah. It was
Yeah.
really hard to watch it with tons of students that were annoying and weren't even paying attention to the movie. So yeah, I couldn't really pay attention because it was so the audio was messed up, or no, the speakers were messed up, so we couldn't really hear. And then the teacher saying, "Oh, just be quiet, and you guys will be hear it." They didn't make an effort to at least I don't know fix that problem.
Yeah,
But
that,
oh well.
it's one of those movies that's better if you watch it by yourself.
Yeah, and you're paying attention. Like
Yeah.
have you seen the movie Moon? Or I think that's what it's called. With
Mm,
what's his name? The one actor from Iron Man 2. I don't know. I can't remember. That's the only movie I know from. Oh, and the Sitter, or I don't know. Have you seen the Sitter with Jonah Hill?
yeah, I've seen The Sitter.
Yeah, you know that well, he's not really like the villain, but the guy who wants his cocaine, or because they sold the dinosaur egg that was made with cocaine.
Uh huh.
Like that actor, he was in that. Yeah, him. He was the main character. I don't know if that rings a bell.
No, I don't think I've seen it.
No, all right, all right. It's a good movie though. You should probably check it out. Kind of reminds you of The Martian a little bit. I don't know. Maybe that's where The Martian got their inspiration from.
Well, it was based off a book that I haven't read, but I think someone I know has it.
Yeah. Wait, you know the Hobbit Battle of Five Armies, right?
Yeah.
Third one. I mean, like it was a good movie, but like I was hoping like because the way the second one ended was really like I just hate it when they end the second one or like whatever movie it was before, and then they don't really focus on the ending of the second one or the one previously.
Yeah, because they built up Smog the Dragon for two movies, and then they just kind of, um,
Yeah, killed him off in the first
you
10
know,
minutes of the movie.
it's it's really stupid, but yeah, I liked the Hobbit movies. They were good. I watched all of them in the theaters.
Same. third one where you kind of got ripped off because supposedly it was an IMAX. Yeah, it was not the greatest experience, but I enjoyed the movie. Yeah,
Uh,
I was hoping oh, you go first.
well, I was just gonna say that I got more enjoyment out of the Battle of the Five Armies because I watched it with my uncle who lives in LA, and I don't really get to see him that often. But yeah, we had just gotten back from Yosemite National Park, and just like it was just a last minute decision, and we went to see it like at 11 o'clock at night or 12. But yeah,
But yeah, it's a pretty good movie. But I was hoping they would focus more on Smog. Oh well, he was a cool character. I like his quote when he said, I forgot it though. I know it ended with "I am death."
yeah.
So
I forget the rest too. All I remember is I am death.
yeah, this is a really interesting character.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Uh,
else do you want to talk about?
well, we went way off topic for about 15 or 20 minutes.
Oh yeah,
So I was
we're talking
thinking,
about creepypastas. We're talking about creepypastas.
yeah, I was thinking like it's been a good hour and something minutes. You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, let's just wrap it up.
All
All
right.
right,
Well,
how are we gonna end it?
I guess I'll go first. Thank you for watching. If you've seen it, thanks for coming to the podcast and listening in. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to check out Wolfpack Leader's channel. He does cool stuff, and he's planning on doing some cool stuff.
Sound like soda.
It was soda. If you have any last words, go ahead.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess subscribe to the rest of the Wolfpack, which is including myself, obviously, and Nightmare Slumber.
Yeah. All right. Well, see you guys next time. Bye.